So Lorna Collins is one of the artists exhibiting in the Birdsong show in collaboration with Angela Robson, who's taking photographs of us as we speak. And Angela started out making an extremely interesting new work under the Birdsong commissioning scheme. And for one reason or another, ended up collaborating with Lorna, who stands here before us. Tomorrow, we've got two film shows. We've got Elin Lee's premiere with her film actors at about 11:30. And we are also going to be premiering Angela's film with Lorna, and they're going to do a Q&A. It's an extraordinary story. The journals, which are on display in the Birdsong show, are mind-bending. They've never been shown in public before. And there was a moment when Lorna actually became quite anxious about putting them in the post, like registered, special recorded delivery and everything, because what they are, what they represent and what they contain. However, we'll do that tomorrow, but now I'm just going to hand over to Lorna Collins for 5 to 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mike. So I've been asked to talk to you about, is that better? Is that okay? Space, the sound is okay? Yeah. I've been asked to speak to you about public. A little journey, so please raise your imaginations, okay? Because we're going to India, okay? Imagine a hot, arid, orange landscape. We are in Chhattisgarh in South India, and we meet the Adivasis, the indigenous Indians, and we speak to them. And they say they can't speak English, but they speak in a dialect that few people understand, but we have a translator. And the Adivasis say, we are faceless, we are spaceless, we are denied any kind of human rights. Our land is being destroyed by mining. We are on the margins of society, we cannot survive. Now, this is a story about the defects of capitalism, about power, colonialism. But how do the Adivasis respond? They respond by weaving silk, embroidering silk, and telling stories. The oral tradition in Adivasi language and history is immense. They tell stories, they don't have books, they tell stories orally, and their history is transmitted to generations to come via telling stories. So what is this, telling stories? What has that to do with public, being public and making space? Well, my whole life is about telling stories. My story is immense, and I hope you will see this in the film. This is not just a plug for the film, this is a methodology. We tell stories to make space public. And I want us to think about how Doncaster can tell its story, and what is the art bomb story? What stories can we make here and now to make this space public? So I'm going to start a story, and then we'll see where it takes us. This is Exquisite Corpse, the surrealist game. I'm sure some of you, if not all of you, may have heard of it. What happens is I start off a story, and when I reach the end of my imagination, which has no ends, but I might pause it for a second, then someone else takes on the imagination and the inspiration and continues the story. We don't have very long. I don't know how long I've been speaking for, but we don't have long, so we have to be quick. So once upon a time, I saw a flamingo. Who's going to carry on that? I'm not looking at anyone. Just shout out. The flamingo's legs were solid in the salty water. Thank you. The strange thing about this flamingo was that it wasn't pink. It was made of gold. It glistened in the morning sun. Ooh, this is the next level of Doncaster. That day was dark and raining. And the flamingo was depressed. What did the flamingo do? It cried. which was weird because it was a gold-plated plastic flamingo in the charity shop window. But the child was looking at it. And it, he or she, or they, he, and he asked his mum if she could buy it from the shop.
And the shopkeeper said, no, it belongs in the parallel state.
And the shopkeeper said, no, it belongs in the parallel state.
And on that note...
And on that note, do I get to finish it?
I think we should invite the parallel state up.
Where's Schmidt? Parallel state team.
Okay, parallel state.
It's your turn to finish the story and start the story.
Maybe you should say a little bit about how you had to create your own space.
Okay. Right.
In the short version.
Okay. I made space for myself because with creativity, I have wings. There is more space in my brain opened when I am creative, when I make, when I create, when I paint, when I write, when I take photographs, film, dance, imagine, and all is free. Thank you.